Good afternoon. Welcome to the Rockhurst University December 2020 commencement ceremony. This marks our first December commencement since 2005, and most certainly our very first virtual December commencement ever. I am Dr. Douglas Dunham, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, I want to welcome especially the families and friends who have loved, supported, and nurtured these graduates to see them through to this milestone in their lives. Although we all would have preferred to gather in person to celebrate the achievements of the incredibly resilient class of 2020, please know a virtual celebration was the only option guaranteed to maintain the safety and well-being of you, those you love and care for, and our university community at the time during the worldwide pandemic. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Cindy Schmerzel, Vice President for Mission and Ministry, who will deliver the invocation. Following the invocation, please join in singing our national anthem, led by Dr. Ellen Stevenson, Assistant Professor in the St. Luke's College of Health Sciences School of Nursing. And now, Cindy Schmerzel.
Good and gracious God, we gather in gratitude in this historic moment, aware that all that we have and all that we are is gift, a reflection of your grace abundant. This day we are especially grateful for the gift and the witness of the members of Rockhurst University's class of 2020. As we celebrate their achievements, we ask your blessing upon them. May they savor in gratitude and awe the graces of their time at Rockhurst. Shaped by their Jesuit education, may they go forth as people for and with others. May they go forth as compassionate leaders, willing to enter the chaos and spend themselves, their learnings, their giftedness, their lives in the service of you, in love of their neighbors, and in endless labor for a justice that includes and reconciles. Bless the family and friends who have supported and sustained the graduates through joys and challenges, disappointments and hard-won successes. May their love continue to be a source of encouragement and strength, and may the love they offer in generosity, in sacrifice, and in abundance be returned to them in kind. Bless the faculty and staff of Rockhurst University, who have labored to teach, mentor, inspire, and companion the students entrusted to them. May they rest in gratitude and satisfaction this day, aware of the ways in which their work has transformed lives. And may their efforts continue to set hearts and minds on fire and serve a world in need. Ever faithful and generous God, you are the source of all blessing. And so for all that has been, for all that is in this moment, and for all that is yet to come, we thank you. Through the witness of our lives, may we offer our amen. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the
members of the governing board, Father Curran, president of Rockhurst University, deans, associate deans, members of the faculty, parents, spouses, and significant others, relatives, friends, and especially members of the graduating class of 2020. Finding God in all things, contemplation and action, wisdom, cura personalis, reflection and discernment, magis. These are the core values of a Jesuit university. Rockhurst University shares these values with 188 Jesuit colleges and universities around the world. 27 of them are in the United States. What does it mean not only to be educated at a Jesuit university, but to become one of more than 2 million living alumni of Jesuit universities in the U.S. alone? I suspect many of you remember on your first day as an undergraduate student at Rockhurst University, Father Curran telling you what a privilege it was for you to be studying at a university. Do you remember him telling you that only 1% of the world's population will complete a baccalaureate degree? Well, today, we celebrate that you have earned this degree. This privilege, however, carries with it enormous responsibility. This is, in part, what distinguishes a Jesuit education from other traditions. You are called to compassionate action, seeking the promotion of justice in our society, and to understand that love and faith are shown in deeds much better than words. In short, graduates, we hope that your experience at Rockhurst University has contributed to your formation as leaders in service, to be men and women for and with others. At Commencement, a beginning, we celebrate not only what you have accomplished, but we imagine what you will become. Many of you, perhaps even most of you, already have in mind what's next. But as Jim Manny reminds us, St. Ignatius also thought he knew what's next. Instead, quote, hardly anything turned out the way he thought it would. He thought he should live a life of penance and austerity. That was a wrong direction. He went to the Holy Land thinking he would live his life there. He was sent home. He set out on a career of lay evangelism. The church stopped him. He thought the Jesuits should live unencumbered by commitments, ready to go anywhere. They wound up running a vast networks of schools. With all these false starts, why is Ignatius regarded as the master of discernment? Because he saw that the journey is the thing. He called himself the pilgrim. He traveled a long way, and at every step he was alert to the still small voice pointing him to what's next. End quote. So today, as you start your journey as graduates of Rockhurst University, be attentive to the still small voice that always accompanies you and think about what's next. I'm proud to introduce today's student speaker, Marcus Wade Kirby, candidate for the degree of Master of Education, Elementary Education Certification track. As a student in the Master of Education program at Rockhurst University, Mark Kirby has embodied all of the Rockhurst University's core values. Chief among these are reflection and discernment and magis. His teachers, mentors, and advisors will recount the innumerable ways in which he strives to be the finest student and educator he can be. At every turn, Mark seeks to be a reflective practitioner in order to positively impact his students' academic, social, and emotional learning. Mark is tireless in working for the betterment of his students. Currently, he is student teaching under contract at Heartland Christian School in Belton, his alma mater. Additionally, he has worked full-time as a teacher there the entirety of his graduate program at RU. His service earned him the Aruba Service Learning Award in spring 2019, which is given to those students who demonstrate outstanding academic performance and commitment to community partnership. These students embrace the ideal of being men and women for and with others in the Jesuit tradition. As a researcher, Mark designed a mixed method study for Father Frayne's Action Research course that explored the efficacy of formative assessments for his students. This research examined the positive effect of authentic assessments on academic achievement, especially in math and science. In the spirit of Magis, Mark wanted to design learning assessments with greater metacognitive reflection components for his students. After graduation, Mark will continue to teach 5th and 6th grade English, math, and science at Heartland Christian School. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Mark Kirby as this year's commencement speaker.
Dear family, friends, fellow students, and distinguished faculty, welcome to the December 2020 commencement. What a crazy year 2020 has been. I have to admit, there have been times when I didn't think we would make it to this day. But through the encouragement of our professors, the love of our families, and our own determination, we finally made it. Congratulations, fellow graduates. As we reach the end of this part of our educational duties, I realize that we are actually continuing a lifelong journey of learning and discovery that Rockhurst has set us onto. I took a moment to reflect, which, as many of you know, is one of the core values of Rockhurst. I appreciate that Rockhurst is a university in which the staff practices the values that they hold so dear. One of the most essential things that I learned in my education classes is that if you want students to do something, you have to model it for them. You have to show them how it's done. And here at Rockhurst, my professors have shown me how it's done. One of the most notable values of Rockhurst is cura personalis, or care for the whole person. The professors have always encouraged and cared for us as people, both inside and outside of the classroom. I've never felt like I was just a number or a dollar sign. I have been constantly encouraged to take care of myself spiritually, physically, and emotionally. In these uncertain COVID times, Professor Spallo Mitchelson has made sure that we took care of ourselves. She always took time at the beginning of class to check in with us and make sure that we were doing okay before she started any academic agenda for the night. Dr. Walter is another example of cura personalis. She was a huge encouragement to me during my student teaching semester. She listened to my concerns and took the time to advise me on juggling life as a teacher. Dr. Walter, I appreciate our discussions more than you'll ever know. Another core Rockhurst value is magis, which means more. All of my professors have encouraged me to know more, to do more, and to expect more of myself. Even when the world around us may not be what we want it to be, we have been encouraged to fight for social justice and equality and to want more. One professor that stands out to me when I think about more is Professor Kaywood. Now here's a teacher that teaches 50 kids every day with the help of one person and still manages to come teach night classes here at Rockhurst. She's a rock star. Professor Kaywood showed us that there are always more ways to do more with our lessons, to make more connections, and to integrate the core subjects so that our students learn more. Professor Kaywood, I learned so much from your classes. Thank you for all you do. Another value that stands out to me is contemplation and action. We've been encouraged to be leaders who serve by example. The professors led us on our educational journey in the classroom and cared for us as part of God's creation. Dr. Logan is another professor that leads by example and is a servant to her students. She's not only a great professor, but a servant who will take the time to email resources to a former student at 8 o'clock at night. She could have waited until office hours, but she stepped into that servant role and sent me what I needed. Thank you for that. Another example of a servant and leader at Rockhurst is Dr. Hicks. I cannot say how impressed I was with the way she set up her online psychology class. She included opportunities to reflect and contemplate on the material before putting what we knew into action. Dr. Sonnenberg is another one who serves by example in her work at the STEAM studio. Dr. Sonnenberg, thank you so much for mentoring me and encouraging me to be a leader in my own school. One of the things that led me to Rockhurst was finding and recognizing God in all things. Father Frayne was one of my professors who modeled that value in his classes. Father Frayne, I can't tell you what it meant to me that you opened every class in prayer and invited God's presence into our classroom. It brought peace to my soul after what was often a hectic day at school. I often came to class feeling overwhelmed, but I left knowing that I could complete this program. I will also never forget the Irish jig you performed for us that last night of class and the dance you made us do. Don't get mad at me, but I did show the video to a lot of people and they all loved it. I was also taught to find God in all things by Dr. Friend. She taught us that every person is God's creation. If we love God, we must love all of his people. There's no room for bias or discrimination in the heart of one who loves God. Dr. Friend also taught us to expect more from the world around us. Dr. Friend, I'd like to thank you for reminding me of the importance of inclusion. You taught me to be aware of my words and my actions as I work with our next generation of students. I promise to always make a conscious effort to make my classroom a safe and accepting place for all students, no matter who they are or where they come from. Lastly, I also have to say thank you to Mary Carey. She's the glue that holds the Rockhurst Education Department together. Mary, you've been such an encouragement to me. I can't tell you how many times I've been discouraged, and one of your emails would come across my desk, and it just lifted my spirits. You are such a blessing to Rockhurst and to me. So as I sit back and I reflect, I realize that I'm on a journey that's not ending with a degree, but is beginning with a career in which I will take what I've learned, to love God and His creation, to see Him in every face I see, and to want more for myself and for those I serve in the classroom. I leave you with this quote I read the other day. You will never look into the eyes of someone God does not love. Always be kind. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you today. Fellow graduates, I wish you luck in your upcoming journeys throughout life. Always do more, expect more, and always be kind. Thank you.
We now proceed to the conferral of degrees in each college. Each group of candidates will be presented by their respective dean, and then the president will confer all said degrees. Graduates, when your school's dean begins to present, I encourage you to stand up wherever you are and remain standing until the president confers your degree. I now call upon our academic leaders, Dr. Carla Brensel, Dean of the St. Luke's College of Health Sciences School of Allied Health, Dr. Jennifer Friend, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, Dr. Miles Gartland, Dean of the College of Business, Influence, and Information Analysis.
Thank you, Provost Dunham. As the Dean of the School of Allied Health, I would like to take this opportunity to not only congratulate the class of 2020 on your accomplishments, but to also acknowledge your hard work and the sacrifices you made while earning your degree. Every individual's path to this point is different. Take pride in how far you've come. Look to the future and have faith in how far you can go. This is just the next step in your life journey. President Curran, on behalf of the Rockhurst University, St. Luke's College of Health Sciences, I have the honor of presenting 13 candidates for the Associate of Science in Allied Health degree, 3 candidates for the Associate of Science in Medical Assisting degree, 76 candidates for the Bachelor of Nursing degree, and 25 candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing degree. These students have been listed in the commencement program. They have successfully completed all requirements for the academic degree as prescribed in the catalog and by the department of their major, have passed their examinations, and are hereby recommended by the faculty and the deans for the degree noted. Will they please stand?
Celeste McKenna Allen, Carol Maria Carrillo de Herrera, Brittany Lynn Cox, Shantera Renee Dupriest, Victoria Faith Houseman, Catherine M. Kirby, Taylor Lee Nemechek, Rachel Elizabeth Newberry, Maria Patricio, Sydney Shackles, Samantha Julia Soriano, Helen Teklu, Laria Luce Thomas, Brittany R. Wandel, Shelby A. Wynn, Charity Ann Arnold, Becky Shoes, Jaleesa Renee Taylor Cantu, Anna G. Amaya, Kristen T. Anderson, Anatali Aquino, Bailey Archery, Hillary Black, Bridget Elise Bolin, Austin James Braddock, Hannah D. Brandland, cum laude, Jennifer Lynn Bremer, cum laude, Aline J. Bridges, Natalie Jo Brinker, Antoinette Yvonne Brown, Mershana Mansour Brown, Sarah Ann Brown, magna cum laude, Megan Elise Burkhart, Cassandra Antonia Calhoun, Jocelyn Caravillo, Renee Carl, Lee Anna Carlson, Brenda Isabel Carrillo, Alexa Jade Clark, Jordan Elizabeth Clark, Kayla Michelle Connor, cum laude, Lauren Nicole Contreras, Kelsey Nicole Kreitz, Jessica Ann Culver, Holly A. Deary, cum laude, Caitlin Nicole Dobson, Kelly Douglas, Nicole M. Dukes, cum laude, Bryce Patrick Duncan, Jennifer Lynn Elpert, cum laude, Amy L. Farmer, cum laude, Madison Ferrara, Ashton McKenna Fig, Sarah Jane Fuss, McCole Janae Greer, Claire Helan, Susanna Nicole Hickman, Lauren Mackenzie Hipp, Sarah Elizabeth Hoke, Carla Angelica Iribi, Selena Ray Keller, Grace Wambui Maina, Brecklin Page Maynard, Emily Mansell, Joy Noel Michiko Marble, Savannah May Martin, magna cum laude, Lucas Alexander Mean, Laura Joyce Malong, Monica K. Merriman, Amelia Elizabeth Mingoya, Hilda Suarez Mondragon, Mabel N. Ne, Ashley Marie Olding, Riley Ann Olson, Amy Marie Ostermeyer, Gloria Ann Owens, Alexis R. Parker, Julie Ann Parker, Alexandria Marie Pasquale, Joshua Earl Petermeyer, Marion Plum, Jessie Marie Pucci, Victoria Kayla Rios, Lindsay E. Rivera, Eunice R. Rodas, Lena K. Sanders, Kendall Janae Sell, Tyler Allen Shuck, Kalila Anaya Smith, Michaela Sword, Katie Mae Tao, Alyssa Michelle Turner, Carissa Ann Zimmer, Mackenzie Barkstadt, Abby Jo Bauer, Ashley Diane Bratton, Meredith Ann Schrouser, Parker Lee Daly, Robin G. Davidson, Selena Marie De Leon, Victoria Renee Draffin, Kelsey Jane Dunworth, Carrie D. Jackson, Caitlin Renee Jansen, Christian Alexander Keevan, Tiffany Marie Kennison, Jacqueline Ruth Kusek, Lara Ann Landrenau, Brittany Elizabeth McDonald, Lauren Michaela Riley, Jessica Michelle Roberts, Alexandra Rose Martinez, Jessica Scarlett, Mary Beth Schnell, Jessica Lynn Seaton, Sarah Sheldon, Puvi Selvi Velmurugan, Leslie Kim Williams, Stacy Lynn Wood, Alexandria Ann Young.
I would now like to present Dean Jennifer Friend of the College of Arts and Sciences.
It is a privilege to offer congratulations to the class of 2020 on the day of your graduation. As your dean, I am confident that your experiences in the College of Arts and Sciences have prepared you to rise to any challenges with confidence. As you go forth as knowledgeable, compassionate, and just leaders, I share the words of Representative John Lewis. Quote, "You have a moral obligation, a mission, a mandate to get out there and leave this little planet a little greener, a little cleaner, and a little more peaceful for generations yet unborn." End quote. Congratulations to you and your family as you celebrate this occasion. President Curran, as Dean of the Rockhurst University College of Arts and Sciences, I have the honor of presenting 13 candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree, 22 candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree, and 5 candidates for the Master of Education degree. These students have been listed in the Commencement program. They have successfully completed all requirements for the academic degree as prescribed in the catalog and by the department of their major, and they have passed their examinations and are hereby recommended by the faculty and the dean for the degree to be noted. Will you please stand?
Kathleen Maria de los Angeles Dolan, cum laude. Mallory Justine Fellows. William Anthony Hartnell, summa cum laude. Jace A. Hasterloh, summa cum laude. Jacob Richard Camper. Andrew Christopher Markart. Jared Ryan McGahey. Molly Teresa McEwen, magna cum laude. Kevin Andrew Morris, summa cum laude. Lexi K. Ostrander, summa cum laude. Nathaniel Vincent Palmerine. Paula Berenice Rodriguez Camarillo. Melissa Rose Sayer. Mary Bridget Spencer, summa cum laude. John Cecil Stislinger, Jr., cum laude. Sean M. Taylor, Jr. Tessa Ann Buchheit, summa cum laude. Naleli Caballero Baeza. Brant Kincaid Callahan, summa cum laude. Kiri Jiaying Elizabeth Evans, summa cum laude. Patrick William Fitzsimmons. Brent William Gilchrist. Katie O'Neill Gooden, cum laude. Aubrey Lorraine Hamilton. Carter John Harris, summa cum laude. Peyton James Hotovy, magna cum laude. Emma Kathleen Kilcoyne. Elizabeth Rose Madison, summa cum laude. Muhammad Ahmad Mahmoud Basra. Austin Marcus Polina, magna cum laude. John Uto Rees. Adam Daniel Seal, summa cum laude. Brianne Marie Sedlasek, magna cum laude. Kevin O'Brien Sidney. Jordan R. Scoff, cum laude. Rachel Marie Vaughn, magna cum laude. Alexis I. Yoder, summa cum laude. Teresa Lynn Bolanos. Casey Nicole Cannon. Marcus Wade Kirby. Patricia N. Mallory. Garielle Stevens.
I would now like to present Dean Miles Gartland of the College of Business, Influence, and Information Analysis.
Thank you, Dean Friend. Representing the faculty and staff of the Hellsberg School of Management and the College of Business, Influence, and Information Analysis, I want to congratulate the class of 2020 on your hard work and accomplishments. We are very proud of how you have grown and excited to see what is next for each of you. We state that our mission is to prepare leaders to make a positive difference in the world through the Jesuit tradition of learning, leadership, and service. Now it is time for you to go into the world and make that positive difference. We have the highest confidence that you will excel at your endeavors and be proud alumnus. My deepest congratulations to you and your family. President Curran, as the Dean of the College of Business, Influence, and Information Analysis, I have the honor of presenting 17 candidates for the Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration, 1 candidate for the Master's of Arts in Management degree, 4 candidates for the Master's of Arts in Organizational Leadership degree, 26 candidates for the Master's of Business Administration, and 3 candidates for the Master's of Business Intelligence and Analytics degree. These students have been listed in the commencement program and have successfully completed all the requirements for the academic degree as prescribed in the catalog and by the department of their major, have passed their examinations and are hereby recommended by the faculty and the dean for the degree noted. Will they please stand?
Mara Grace Akers, magna cum laude. Peter Robert Baker, summa cum laude. Trevor Michael Sissel. Dylan Bradley Irwin. John Michael Flynn Jr. Rachel Elizabeth Grubel, magna cum laude. Jacob Daniel Gunther. Turner S. Hall, magna cum laude. William Anthony Hartnell, summa cum laude. Michael John Ibarra. Sean Patrick Michelle. Sidney R. Murray, cum laude. Benjamin Thomas Robinson. Paula Rebecca Romero. Caleb Anthony Sage. Madeline Marie Solonsky, summa cum laude. Bryce Starzik, cum laude. Ruth Morgan Truesdale, magna cum laude. Martin Efren Velasquez Cruz. Jessica Morgan Bluebaugh, April Ann Graber, Leslie Gracie Hernandez, Amanda Joyce Smossel, Alad Adonis Aguirre, Arkim Arkinorla, Samuel Vincent Archer, Corey Joseph Austin, Matthew Allen Baker, Bridget N. Berry, Noah David Bortnick, Alexander Philip Brizimitsakis, Joseph Kent Carmozino II, Kevin Matthew Azurski, Brett Robert Getzel, Rachel Lee Brodsky, Shelby Lee Hayden, Andrea Ellen Larimer, Kyle Christian Lipke, Melanie Rose Luttig, Amita Marconda, Corey Michael Mathis, Victoria Elizabeth Melland, Dylan Scott Moser, Ryan Scott Reyes, Christopher Stenger, Blake Anthony Stratman, Daniel Walter Trost, John Carlos Giovanni Walton Nunez, Willie Jean Williams III, Gray Nicole Lee Wise, Alexis Michelle Atchison, Jennifer Ann Campbell, Tristan Daniel Conrad, Jonathan Isaiah Johnson, Kyle Christian Lipke, Lauren Parsons Dunn, Anne Kathleen Toy, Jonathan D. Walker, Khadija A. Willis.
And now I have the pleasure of introducing to you the president of Rockhurst University, the Reverend Thomas Curran of the Society of Jesus, for the conferral of degrees.
By the authority vested in me by the state of Missouri and the Board of Trustees of Rockhurst University, I hereby confer upon all graduates the recommended degrees as they have been certified and presented with all the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities of those degrees. In recognition of your new status as graduates and alumni of Rockhurst University, you may now move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations. In these days of the pandemic, there is a noticeable increase of streaming of films through Netflix and other such providers. Permit me to suggest a film to add to your list. It is the iconic movie from 50 years ago, The Graduate. In the film, Ben Braddock is celebrating the completion of his degree. He is also contemplating the future of his life. He is told to focus upon one word: plastics. However, the word epitomized what was false, lifeless, and synthetic, literally and figuratively. Permit me to offer an alternate word today. It is gratitude. Cicero states that gratitude is not only the greatest of all virtues, it is the parent of all others. St. Ignatius Loyola wanted gratitude considered daily throughout what he called the examen exercise. He introduced this practice in what we refer to as the spiritual exercises. It's a simple but profound activity. Ignatius recommends using the practice at least twice a day, but acknowledges its usefulness if only exercised once a day. As the newest products of Jesuit education, I invite you to begin or continue practicing the examen, which is rooted in gratitude. This virtue is more than just saying thank you. Being thankful is expressed with words from our lips. Gratitude comes from our hearts. It has much deeper roots than an expression of thanks. Gratitude consists in recalling each and every day where we have experienced the presence of God. It is always possible, because no day will pass where you will not experience God, even in the darkest of days, and yes, even in those experiences of downright desolation. If we are intentional and deliberate about pausing each day for just a moment, we can discover that gratitude, where I felt the presence of God today. Recall it, embrace it, and make a resolution to plant it in the holy ground that lies before you. For gratitude will be the seed that will generate the fruits and produce of your lives, including learning of things, people, and places prompted by your lifelong curiosity. Leadership in places where you need to demonstrate it. Courage about the circumstances of life where it will be required of you. Compassion with others on the margins in need of your accompaniment. Action for change so you might address an injustice, and pursuit of a common good and public virtue in which you include the least, the forgotten, the unwanted, and the unloved. Ben Braddock, the graduate, was told to think about plastics. I invite you to practice gratitude. Congratulations.
Thank you, Father Curran. I now welcome new Rockhurst alumna Mara Grace Akers, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, as she leads us all in the Rockhurst University alma mater.
Rockhurst is our alma mater, home of wisdom, heart so true. Loyal friends are here together, neath your colors white and blue. Guide us with your truth and honor, keep us strong in unity. On this rock we build our future, Rockhurst University.
At this time, we'd like to welcome our newest companions, the faculty, staff, and students of the St. Luke's College of Health Sciences, School of Allied Health, and School of Nursing, who joined Rockhurst University in May of 2020. I'm pleased to present Dr. Carolyn Alloway, Associate Professor and Director of the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program, who will introduce us to the meaning of the College of Nursing's pinning tradition. Dr. Alloway.
Honored guests, families, and friends, and especially members of the December class of 2020. In our face-to-face pinning ceremonies, each Bachelor of Science in Nursing student receives a special pin. This year, pins have been distributed to each graduate in advance of commencement. The nursing pin is a unique symbol with a rich history. It connects you to St. Luke's College of Health Sciences, to the profession of nursing, and with all nurses who have come before you and all nurses who will follow. The history of this rite of passage can be traced back to the Crusades of the 12th century. During this time, the new monks were initiated with a ceremony where each monk was given a Maltese cross. They vowed to serve the sick soldiers. The first badges were given to those who nursed. Fast forward to the 1860s, when Florence Nightingale was honored with the Red Cross of St. George for her selfless efforts to care for injured men during the Crimean War. Because she believed in acknowledging a job well done, she presented a Medal of Excellence to her hardest working nursing graduates. Later, each graduate at the Nightingale School of Nursing was awarded a badge with a Maltese cross to identify them as nurses and act as proof of their education. The purpose of the pin was to distinguish the nurse as a highly educated caregiver who served the health needs of society, held Christian values, and were loyal to their country. In the United States, the first pin presented to a graduating class occurred at Bellevue Hospital in New York City in 1880. By 1916, a ceremony awarding the pins was a tradition in England and in the United States. The pin symbolizes vigilance, constancy, mercy, and the relief of suffering. Today, the unique design of each nursing school's pin readily identifies to others where the nurse graduated, in much the same way that women's nursing caps once did. The Rockhurst University, St. Luke's College of Nursing pin was designed by students, faculty, and alumni. It was their intent to combine the proud tradition of St. Luke's nursing education with a new beginning when the baccalaureate program was started in 1991 under the leadership of Provost Patricia Teeger. Traditionally, blue, which is a color found on the outside border of your pin, represents truth and loyalty. The Maltese cross, found in the center of your pin, is a symbol of service. The points on the Maltese cross represent the college values. The oval shape of your pin and the BSN insignia will clearly identify you as a graduate of St. Luke's College of Health Sciences. Your pin will remind you of the dedication and perseverance needed to have come this far. Graduates, it is recognized today that you have earned the right and proven your worthiness to serve others. This pin is a tangible symbol that shows that you have knowledge, competence, and professional attributes. Your pin also demonstrates that you are responsible and that you promise to offer quality, evidence-based care to all. I am sorry that we are unable to pin you in person, but please know how very proud we are of you each time you look upon your pin.
Allow me to introduce one of our newest alumna, Ruth Morgan Truesdale, class of 2020, Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, who has most graciously agreed to offer our benediction. Welcome, Morgan.
The following is modified from a prayer of Cardinal John Henry Newman. God, support us all the day long, till the shades lengthen and the evening comes, and the busy world is hushed, and the fever of life is over, and our work, for your greater glory and the service of others, is done. Then, in your mercy, grant us a safe lodging and a holy rest, and peace at last.
This concludes our December 2020 Rockhurst University virtual commencement ceremony. We wish the very best for all our graduates, their families and friends, and our entire community of Rockhurst companions in all their future endeavors. Thank you for joining us today.